Hey, what is up, you guys? Me, Sam N0VA again. Today, I am reviewing the brand new installment, the sixth film in the franchise, Scary Movie 6, or it's just called Scary Movie, to parody, I guess, all these different horror movies and just, I guess, legacy sequels that don't call themselves a sequel. They just say, oh, it's the title of the first movie. You get the idea. So yeah, Scary Movie 6, it came out. It's pretty much ending its box office run as we speak. And I'm going to be honest, I was actually kind of excited for Scary Movie 6. I actually really enjoyed the first three Scary Movies. I don't think they're like the greatest comedies of all time, but I think they're pretty damn funny for what they are. I love Scary Movie 1. I think is genuinely a really funny movie. Scary Movie 2 I think is funny too. Scary Movie 3 is actually my favorite film in the franchise. I'm not ashamed to admit I love Scary Movie 3. Yeah, the Wayans brothers didn't come back, but at least Scary Movie, at least it still was very funny to me. I mean, growing up. I don't know if I'd probably find it as funny now, but there are jokes in Scary Movie 3 that still get a chuckle out of me. Scary Movie 4, I think is a pretty good movie. I think it was pretty funny too. Scary Movie 5, I think I saw chunks of it and I thought it was just kind of god-awful all the way through. So with Scary Movie 6, they announced it a couple years ago. They said the Wayans brothers, there's Regina Hall and Anna Faris are back. And that was actually kind of hopeful for this movie because last year we got the new Naked Gun movie. And to be honest, I actually liked the new Naked Gun movie. It wasn't like as good as the originals, but I still enjoyed it for what it was. It was goofy, it was silly, which was the point. It didn't have to be like super crude, but I had a good time watching the new Naked Gun. Now, with the new Scary Movie, which is just titled Scary Movie, the Wayans brothers are coming back to try to pretty much make another Scary Movie in a new era of just modern culture and how they'll poke fun at it. So, with Scary Movie 6, I was pretty excited for it, right? But did it live up to the hype? I'm gonna be honest, no. I did not think this movie was very good at all. I think this was honestly kind of a giant misfire, even on their part. Now, it's not to say the movie's the worst I've ever seen. There were some jokes that did get a chuckle out of me, but man, there were a lot of jokes that just did not land or just went on for way too long, or just jokes that just didn't feel like jokes. It just felt like they parodied other stuff. And yes, I am thankful that they got the original cast, Sean Wayans is back, and they brought him, Marlon Wayans and Sean Wayans are back. I'm thankful for that. I just wish they were in a better movie here, man. And I know the excuses of this to defend some people have used, well, you gotta be high to watch it. That's the only reason it can be good. If you gotta watch a movie when you're high, that's not a good sign of quality. That's an excuse. That's basically, I could watch a movie, let's say, drunk. I could watch a movie like Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That does not make the movie good, even when you're drunk. And the thing about Scary Movie 6 is, I feel like it's trying too hard. You know how you'll see, comedies, sometimes they'll try too hard to be crude, raunchy, or offensive? That's this movie's problem. The movie is trying way too hard. I know the whole tagline of the movie was every line will be crossed and there will be no safe spaces. To be honest, I didn't really find anything to be that offensive. I was like, I will say though, when I was watching this movie, the only other person in my theater, I watched this in a mostly empty theater on a Wednesday morning. That theater was a fucking ghost town. There was only one other person in that theater with me. I don't recall them ever laughing once. Now, to be quiet, there is a joke at the beginning of Scary Movie 6 that I thought was pretty funny that's parodying the whole idea of, legacy sequels and horror movies. And I thought that was pretty funny. It's just a shame the rest of the movie couldn't keep up with that quality, because I feel like at times this movie tries very, very hard to be offensive, and it just comes across as very forced and just forced. With me and there's so many jokes that also just feel very dated. They mention Shorty, the pothead's a live streamer now, and they kill Kai Cenat. that I thought was kind of funny. Like, seeing guys in that get killed off like that. I wonder if he was okay with that. But I will say one thing, the whole cast, Regina Hall, Anna Faris, even the Wayans brothers, they all look like they're having a great time. And even with the new cast, they look like they're having a good time, and I'm happy for them. I just wish I could have seen, they could have been in a better movie. Because Scary Movie 6, it just feels like it's directionless. Like, there's not much of a story. From what I could understand of the story, they were trying to parody the whole Legacy sequel and the reboot sequel, where it's a sequel, but it's also a reboot. Like, you got the daughter of Anna Faris' character, Sydney. She's dating this guy who's obviously probably a killer, which, pretty obvious. I guess that was the whole joke. But one thing I did notice in my watch was they are, like, really forcing the whole, like, making fun of the Legacy sequel and the whole thing. Not many of the characters, I didn't really find that funny. There was one moment where Shorty is talking to his nephew, and he's explaining, like, he wants to have sex with his girlfriend, and he explains what it's like. It's like, you gotta do this. And there's this moment I was like, oh my god. Like, I just sat there. It was very much like the first Scary Movie, and there is a joke in the first Scary Movie that it reminded me of that. I was like, oh my god. It was kind of like I felt like I got jump scared a little bit. But also, I feel like, to be quite honest, well, yeah, the other Scary movies have pop culture references that don't age very well now. This one, there's jokes that have not, like, references that I'm like, really? You're referencing that? Like, they reference World Star Hip Hop. I'm like, I haven't heard anybody reference World Star Hip Hop in years. That made me feel old, because that was when I was back in high school, and even early college, people would still share clips of it online. It just was a weird joke. And, they're referencing movies, once again, that are, like, years old. Like, Scream 5 was 4 years ago, but then they're trying to make fun of movies like Michael Jackson, The Substance, which The Substance, and hell, even Longlegs, I can understand them making fun of. Hell, even there's a Weapons parody where Shorty gives, like, they give out the candy, and it turns out it's, like, drugs, and the kids are walking around parodying weapons, and one of the kids goes 6'7", then he gets hit by a car. That kind of made me chuckle a little bit, but overall, there's jokes in it that also just felt like they weren't really jokes. They were just taken from other movies. Like, there's a scene in Final Destination Bloodlines. There's this at the opening of the movie, before it goes into the main plot of Final Destination 6. There's a scene where you're seeing, like, the grandmother there of the family go through like this horrible premonition of bad things that were about to happen. And there's this kid that's like a piece of shit. He has his penny. He's running out of the building, thinks he's safe. Gets crushed by the piano, and it's really funny how dark it is. Because how absurd it gets. They do the same joke in this, but with the roller coaster. I'm like, there was nothing different about that. And then there's a scene where they pretty much copy Terrifier 3 without saying anything funny about it. Like, if you remember in Terrifier 3, there's a scene where Art the clown is dressed up like Santa Claus, where he's giving the presents to the kids, and they're actual presents. So one is actually, sorry, I hit my camera. One is actually a bomb, but that's the thing is, it's supposed to be shocking and kind of get a chuckle out of you. In this one, he's just handing the kids severed body parts, and one little girl picks up a man's testicles and goes, "What the fuck?" And it was kind. I was like, there was no set. It was just it wasn't really that funny. I mean, I thought it was more shocking, like in Terrifier 3. I don't know. It just wasn't really that. Didn't really make me flinch. I was like, eh. I mean, there is one joke. There are a couple jokes that got me. Like, there's a scene where they parody Get Out, where Shorty, he stops smoking weed, but there's a whole point in the movie where he's talking with the Ghostface Killer, and Shorty does this thing, like in Get Out, if you remember Chris, the main character from Get Out, he has a moment where he is basically being hypnotized into stop smoking cigarettes. So he does this thing where he's reaching into the chair and, like, he's crying a little bit because he's having reflections. And then with like, Shorty, his eyes are, like, crying like waterfalls. I'm like, okay, that's kind of funny. But other than that, I just didn't really laugh that much. And I was kind of bummed out because also I just felt like it was trying way too hard to be offensive, that it forgot how to be funny. And look, dark humor exists for a reason. But for Scary Movie 6, it just feels like it's a 13-year-old trying to be edgy, trying to be like racist. It doesn't work. And there are jokes that did get a chuckle out of me. Like the end of the movie, spoilers, you realize who the Ghostface killer is. It's Anthony Michael, and it's Shaquille O'Neal, but it's also the Wayans brothers, because they're pissed off they weren't allowed to come back for the later Scary Movies. So, but overall, would I recommend Scary Movie 6? I'm gonna be honest, no. Honestly, it's not worth your time. I feel like there were, like I said, there were a couple moments, like there was a COVID joke that made me laugh a little bit, but for the most part, I was just not really having much fun with it. That really bummed me out. I know my one friend liked it, but I saw it by myself, so maybe that's my problem. I didn't watch it with the full theater, but even when I watched it, like, I heard, like, reactions. People were saying it's not very good. Like, Cuss Creep didn't even like it. That's crazy, but other than that, I really didn't like Scary Movie 6 at all. I thought it was a very try-hardy, forced movie, and I love the Wayans brothers. I think they're very funny, but this just felt like I was watching an old man try to box in a like match where he hasn't boxed in years. It was kind of pathetic. Anyways, that's my review for Scary Movie 6. Overall, don't waste your time. Just skip it. So anyways, I'll see you guys next time, and goodbye.